So you know this guy, Rabbi Shmuley, he's a mental case. Legit, right? If I didn't know better, I would think he was a plant by Hamas to make Zionists look even worse.
And he sells sex toys with his daughter.
With his daughter. He's a rabbi who sells. So this is what. So now he's hating on Candace Owens, and he's trying to slander her, calling her a racist and an anti-Semite. And he said, "For Purim, I've dressed up as a Candace Owens Jew, or is it just dress up, or are we Jews deep down always like this? Filth, money, drunk on Christian blood, and dual loyalties for Israel. I felt that since Candace got fired on Friday, I may well has tried and bring her some." So here, this is. He's dressed with money, and he's got a fake Daffy Duck nose on, and I'm actually glad to see that Michael Rappaport has found work as head writer, comedy writer for Rabbi Shmuley.
Yeah, maybe that's who was on the other end of the phone on that call that he staged.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be for Saturday Night Live because he can't do anything on Saturday nights. So, but to be a rabbi, Keaton, is to be a teacher. And what he teaches us is how it looks when you're missing that thing that you need to make you feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
He's obviously missing that thing. So here he is again. By the way, did you get some work done? Because you look great, Rabbi Shmuley. I can't put my finger on it. Did you do something with your hair? What is it? So Alex Jones saw this attack on Candace Owens, and he tweeted out and said, "You have clearly had a nervous breakdown. You go around starting fights with people and then flip out when they respond. For the sake of your family, seek help." So that's Alex Jones. So then here's Schmuley, or here's Candace Owens. She comes in. She says he and his daughter need to check into rehab. Israel intelligence should intervene, as he's effectively an anti-Israel campaign at this point. No doubt about it. This guy is not. He's making people hate Israel more. He's not a good spokesperson for. He's not a good face for Zionists. Sad, I hope they get the help they need. Alex Jones says this guy is a microcosm of what Israel is doing to itself. Total self-destruction.
And they seem to be hitting it off. She should go work for him. She should work at InfoWars.
There was a time when I would have told Schmuley to stop, but now I realize this is the best thing for the Palestinians and their cause is to keep a guy like Schmuley out there doing it. He's doing all the heavy lifting. No one could hurt your cause more than Schmuley.
Yeah.
I actually think he's a Hamas plant. Here, Schmuley comes back and says, "Hi, Alex. Thought I'd respond to you on the Jewish holiday of Purim. Purim is a day of tremendous victory of the Jews over their diehard enemies. Get this, arch anti-Semite Candace Owens, who was fired from her job on Friday for her disgusting lies promoting that Jews drink Christian blood and that Israel's guilty of genocide, just retweeted arch nutjob and disgusting conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. Jones spent years accusing the family of members of Sandy Hook shooting victims of being actors in a hoax and suggesting that their children were still alive. Alex, the nutter, is telling me that I need help, not him. Who said that Sandy Hook and the murder of all those innocent children was a lie? But fear not, my friends. The same lawsuits that were brought against the unhinged Alex that bankrupted him for his lies will hopefully be brought against Candace Owens for all her lies about the Jewish people and saying that I am a murderer. No doubt the result will be the same. Hashtag never again."
This is the guy who backs Benjamin Netanyahu's insane lie that for every civilian killed, a terrorist has been killed. So by that calculation, whatever the math is, 20,000 some odd Palestinians who have been killed who are clearly not Hamas are in fact Hamas.
Alex Jones comes back and he says, "I was not trying to bait you. I am very concerned that you do not realize how much hate you are generating. In my opinion, you are out of your mind, or like the ADL, you want to see Jews persecuted so you can be a leader in the fight against the crisis you are helping create. I don't know which it is. Can you tell me what your goal is? Please come on my show and I will be respectful if you are. You must see that 95% of the comments are not very happy with you. So, I mean, Alex Jones is just crushing him. He can't be a victim if there's no perpetrators, so he orchestrates crimes against himself so he can play victim. That's a classic tactic of the left, like a milder version of what Jesse Smollett did. Alex Jones says, great point. And people told me before Alex came on my show that Alex was pro-Israel. And when he came on, he was not. And I found this is from 20 some years ago. This is what he said about Israel like 20 years ago.
I don't support the Palestinians either. They're all hyped up and psychotic. But Israel's going to get us nuked, always backing them up like this. Israel calls the Palestinians goyim or cattle or dogs or subhuman. They keep them on concentration camps. I got video of them taking Palestinian women's tomatoes they grow and breaking their water containers and stealing. That's why you have this crap. And our children are going to die. We're going to get nuked because of this. Iran's got the nukes now. Syria. We're going to have nuclear war because Israel likes to go around bombing everybody. I'm sorry. It's just the facts. And Israel absolutely is beside itself with joy right now. They are talking about how they're going to blow everything up, how they're going to attack everybody, and guess who's going to get bombed because of it? I have been supportive of Israel for many years. When I found out what they do, shooting little Palestinian children in the genitalia and laughing, it's on video. Little 10-year-olds walk around throwing rocks at tanks. A guy sits off a half mile away and blows their testicles off. They call them goyim. They call them dogs. They call the Arabs cattle. And then the corrupt Arab governments that are in league with this government, it's really a sick Hegelian dialectic, order out of chaos, bringing the world crises, bringing them terrorism, so we'll accept a highly dictatorial police state regime. It's happening.
So even back then, he was telling some truths about Israel, and it's just nuts. Are you 100% Jewish, Keaton?
No, I'm half Jewish. So I'm actually Jewish on my father's side, which means technically I'm actually not Jewish because it passes down the mother's side. But my mother's side of the family, they're Maltese Catholics, and almost her entire family lives overseas. So I've never met most of my Catholic family. So I always sort of considered myself culturally Jewish because almost all the family functions that I went to growing up were with my dad's side of the family, who my dad is, I think, third generation American on his side. So his Jewish family's all here. So I had much more of a Jewish upbringing, even though I'm technically not part of the tribe. But these Zionists are just in a death spiral of debasement now. And, you know, between Schmuley with the putting the big nose on and the money shirt, and Rappaport doing the stunt where, you know, he tried to do a fake out, you know, the sort of trolling people that he's being bribed and paid.
That's called lampshading, right?
Sorry, what was that?
I think that's called lampshading, what he did.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. That's what Kurt says. Kurt's got his finger on the pulse of that shit. But go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, they're all they could do now is troll and sort of self-deprecate and say, oh yeah, look, we are like they are just resorted to perpetuating the worst stereotypes about themselves because they have no actual defense for what's going on. I mean, at the beginning of this, I won't say this is the beginning of the war because the war didn't start on October 7th, obviously, but at the beginning of this escalation, shall we say, Schmuley did not do shit like this at the beginning. At the beginning, he tried to present himself very dignified, right? As dignified as he could, right? He took himself a lot more seriously. Rappaport, same thing, you know? But as their argument has become less and less serious in the eyes of most people, they are just making an absolute mockery of themselves on purpose, doing it in this sort of tongue-in-cheek style to, I guess, signal their self-awareness, but it's obviously not working. It's obviously not working. This is very obviously a psychotic break, as Alex Jones said there. He says you clearly need some help. This is a mental break, I think, because, yeah, I mean, the guy's gone off the deep end. I mean, he was always a sick piece of shit, but he didn't present himself that way 6 months ago.
Hey, come see us do a live stand-up show. We're going to be in Stockholm, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, London, Oslo, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, Cortland, New York, Oakmont, Pennsylvania, El Paso, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Edmonton, Alberta, Vancouver, British Columbia, and Denver, Colorado. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.